Good morning football. Counting down to TNF in Arizona. The undefeated Niners coming to town. We are in full get-up, and in the words of Winifred Sanderson, my favorite Hocus Pocus witch, let's thank Will Selva for that marvelous introduction.
Yeah, Will, the real hero.
You guys have totally outdone yourself. This may be the best Halloween ever in our 4 years of doing this. Would you guys agree? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boz agrees.
Look at all this candy.
I like your costume too, Will.
Yeah, great costume,
Thank you.
Will.
Thank you. Well, I'm dressed as I always am, as Jimmy Fallon, you know? Thank you, Fantasy Football Jeff, for letting me know that even in my fantasies, I'm bad at sports.
Yeah! Yeah!
Well done.
There you go.
Well done. Well done.
My Jimmy Fallon. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right, we have news to get to. Well, as the Nationals are basking in the glow of their first World Series title ever, Washington's professional football team is dealing with the saga over a helmet. And we remember how things turned out the last time a player had a problem with a helmet, right? Yes, we're talking to you, AB. Now, in this particular case, however, Redskins left tackle Trent Williams felt discomfort wearing one and as a result did not practice. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting the team has 2 weeks to find him a helmet that won't hurt. Now, according to Rap Sheet, Williams passed all parts of his physical, but then tried on a helmet and experienced pain, which is considered part of the physical. The Redskins had believed he was healthy enough to practice following a visit with medical personnel. Stay tuned, as we like to say. Well, it's been a frustrating season for quarterback Baker Mayfield and the Browns, as they currently sit at 2-6. Once seen as a potential Super Bowl contender with an impressive array of talent, this frustration seemed to boil over for Mayfield after getting questions about Cleveland's drive at the end of the first half in Sunday's loss to the Patriots.
That blocked field goal at the end of the first half, a 2-minute drive. It seemed like there was a lack of urgency there. There was something going on.
There was a penalty, so we were negative yardage.
But there was a lot of time between snaps.
Well, when the penalty happened, then we're behind the chains. No, stop saying but. I just told you the clock was running and we had a penalty. Do you want to give them the ball back? No, you don't play. You don't know it. That's just plain and simple. Was I happy with the drive? No, we didn't score points. It's the dumbest question you could ask. What? Jesus, Tony.
Well, following this exchange, Mayfield later tweeted out, quote, "Everybody wants to hear the truth until they actually get it. I am who I am and always have been. Don't call it emotional when it's convenient and then passion when it fits. I care about winning, so yeah, I'm frustrated. If I was to act like it's okay to lose, then y'all would say that I've gotten complacent. My sense of urgency is at an all-time high, and if I offend anybody along the way, that's too bad." So that after a testy exchange with a reporter that Mayfield and he have not quite seen eye to eye, but the frustration boiling over there a bit in Cleveland.
Thank you so much, Will, for the update. Yes, this immediately, of course, hit the Twitterverse. Everybody had an opinion on it, but let's call it what it is. Expectations, they were off the charts for Baker Mayfield, for the Browns sitting at 2-5. I understand what Will is saying. The frustration's boiling over, but Schrags, what do you make of his reaction and interaction with the member of the media?
All right, as an esteemed member of the media myself, dressed as a 1920s talkie star, let me take this off. I'm actually going to be a little bit serious on it because this is a tough one here because Baker Mayfield's this guy who everyone really wanted to see either have success or fail. And he was the most polarizing figure this offseason. And right now, it seems to be the latter. What Tony Grossi, who the reporter is asking him is a question that it's almost innocuous. It's the fact that Tony's under his skin. And Tony told the story, he's long been in Cleveland, that before the draft, Tony came out and said that Baker Mayfield was demanding first-class tickets to be flown to Cleveland for his draft interview, already painting him in a picture that Baker didn't like. They've never sat down one-on-one, and Tony every day is there trying to get a... Baker hit his boiling point here. Baker hit his boiling point here, and he did two things that I always used to cringe at. You didn't play the game.
Terrible.
And then tell me how to do my job. The truth of the matter is there's a working media. They're doing their job, and Baker Mayfield's the quarterback. When the game is in the commercial break and you're getting beaten like they're getting beaten, and every ad is Baker Mayfield doing an insurance company ad, smiling, it's like It's fodder. It's easy. And if you let these reporters know that they can get under your skin, it's not going to get away. It's not going to stop. And they're certainly not going to bow down to you and treat you like the celebrity status they did before the season started. Yeah, they're not rolling with you now. You're not winning. And you're obviously not happy with how things are going. You can't lose your cool like this. You just can't. Because as a reporter, I'll tell you, there's sharks in the there's blood in the water now. Like the sharks are coming, and they see a vulnerable topic. Meaning that every day it's going to be them questioning, trying to get a soundbite out of this. Because for Tony today, Tony Grossi's being talked about everywhere today. That is
day of his life.
That is the day of his season. Like that's it. He's got it. And unfortunately, Baker needs to figure out a way to stop worrying about what everyone else is saying. And I don't know if that's possible the way he plays and what he runs on.
All right. The Boz is disappointed in the Bake. The Boz made a vow to support the Bake no matter what in the offseason, that I thick and thin right now. And the Boz is sleeping in the guest room and we're in therapy. Peter, you've talked a lot about Kirk Cousins lately. And you said in light of the apology to Adam Thielen and all that, the most important thing that a quarterback can do is be himself. Don't try to be anybody else. Guys, Baker Mayfield is a brat. Baker Mayfield is kind of a jerk. I think he always has been. I think he always will be. I don't want him to get away from that because I've said at this table over and over, change nothing. Don't do anything. It's gotten you where you have to go. The problem is that Baker Mayfield is not winning now. I don't even care what you said to Tony. What's his name? I don't care. I don't care how he walked out of a press conference. If he wants to do that, that's fine. Can you stop throwing interceptions? It's been terrible. It doesn't work when he's not winning on the field. I will say this. There's a lot of people yesterday and today who are very comfortable with this take about Baker Mayfield that I want my quarterback to be calm all the time, and I need a constant businessman, and I need Russell Wilson who never gets ruffled and never shows emotion. That's a bunch of crap. I mean, I will point to Brett Favre, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, Cam Newton. We could do that for the rest of the show of quarterbacks who ran real hot. I have no problem with Baker saying, you know what, screw it. It's a stupid question, and I know you're messing with me to try to get a reaction, so I'm out of here. I don't care about that. What I care about is, Baker, you've sucked on the field, and I think you know that. You've absolutely sucked. You got to play better, dude, and then we'll get back together.
Now, here's the thing. Me dressed as Dion, Primetime knows all about this. I don't know if y'all are familiar, but when he was playing baseball, he got into it with Tim McCarver. There was a famous interaction in the locker room.
You're a real man, Dion.
Right? We all remember he kind of poured locker room on a reporter. There's moments in sports history where an athlete is going to get in his feelings. There's a couple things that I try not to do whenever I felt like I wanted to snap back at somebody. One is play that card. Even though it's true, even though Tony Grossi didn't play the game, even though he might not understand the game intellectually like Baker or the coach, you don't say that. You don't throw it back in their face because it's pointless. We all understand that. The reason that they're on the other side asking you the questions is because of that reason. Two, never walk out from an interview. Never. No matter how much you're bothered, no matter how much somebody gets under your skin, never walk out of the interview.
Ask you why? Why is that so important?
Because it shows that you have enough appreciation for somebody else doing their job, even when they're not doing the job you want them to. But with all that said, Baker was right. It was a dumb question. It was a dumb. Are you happy with the way the drive ended? They didn't get points. They're getting beat up. It's like, are you happy with the way the season ended? It's like somebody saying, hey, are you happy with the way the show Lost ended?
Yeah.
Are you happy with the way Game of Thrones ended?
No.
Are you happy with the way Titanic ended?
No.
Hey, Miss Lincoln, are you happy with the way the play ended?
Hated it.
Football. Hey, how about the Saints? Are you happy with the way your season ended?
But-
Jesus, Tony.
But 31 of those
I would say the
quarterbacks.
those thing.
How many quarterbacks since back when these kind of costumes and uniforms were out there have to face that music? And that's why people, you're talking to those people who want calm quarterbacks, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
I like a quarterback who's even keeled when it's not when the highs are high, they're high, when the lows are low, they're low. I asked you this in the offseason. I said, if they aren't going to meet the hype, if he's going to start losing, he's going to act the same way. He's going to be just as temperamental. And you said, yeah, and that'll be fine. It's clearly not working. I'd rather, they wear wins and losses, these quarterbacks, more than anybody on the team, and it's their job to face that music. So I don't necessarily feel bad for him or think it's okay that he did it, because that's his job to answer those questions and to show that respect for everybody talking to him.
That's fair.
I don't love it.
That's fair. As a wide receiver, I'd rather have my quarterback run emotionally hot than lukewarm.
Really?
Yes.
I look at that, I say my
don't.
quarterback's in tatters right now.
I'd rather.
I think there's a leadership factor that's missing.
yeah.
And I don't think that all quarterbacks have to be calm. I just don't tell me that you can't win at quarterback unless
that's
you're
true.
emotional.
Yeah.
You can't. I've seen it a million times. You're scowling, Peter.
But there's
You have.
emotional quarterbacks that handle that stuff better, right? Like,
Sure.
would Brett Favre have handled that differently? I would think so.
I think if Baker Mayfield had the personality of Russell Wilson, he would not be the #1 pick. He would not be on the Browns right now. He would not have the Heisman. You'd take everything away from him.
Right.
Go with what got you. It's not going well.
That's fair.
Every
Don't forget.
quarterback has had these moments. Tom Brady has too. Like, what are we talking about?
Tom Brady
here?
snaps at every reporter who doesn't ask him about how great he is. 100%. He's got it in him.
Everybody has, and the quarterbacks that don't, I don't want them. Because when the water gets shaky and we're sitting there looking for a leader, that dude's going to be super casual about what's going on. I'd rather have a faucet running hot than lukewarm.
Tatters. He's a complete boiling pot right now. That is not how you lead a team with that performance yesterday.
More